All right, really just a few degrees warmer today, but a big difference between that and a little less wind.
I know. Honestly, the wind just makes like any day that's like at least an 8 just like
Drops it right
down. With me personally, like I love all weather. I'm a meteorologist, but the wind, I'm like, I can't do it.
It's low on the list.
I know. But tomorrow, gonna be so much better. Not as much wind, about as much sunshine as we saw today, and a few degrees warmer, so it gets a thumbs up in my book. But yeah, it was still, we had our wind advisory last night expire around 2 a.m. However, it's still pretty windy out there. Gusting to about 30 miles an hour in most locations around the state today, but the wind will begin to calm down overnight, and then it's going to be a little bit on the calmer side as we go throughout the rest of the week. Now, the wind that we saw over the past few days is from a system that came through over the weekend and is now offshore. However, it still has an effect on us, because if you're in eastern Maine today, still dealing with some of those snow showers and rain showers closer to the coast. Now, these should begin to diminish over the next few hours, but because of the wind and the snow showers behind this system, it's kind of interesting to see how something that goes through a couple days earlier can still affect us a couple of days later. Now, overnight tonight, our temperatures are going to drop down to right around freezing, closer to the coast, a little bit chillier inland, but tomorrow is going to be a really nice day. The wind is going to calm down, plenty of sunshine, especially if you're in areas like southern and western Maine, and I would say our temperatures are even going to make it into the 50s in a lot of spots. This model here is a little bit on the cooler side, some more cloud cover in northern and eastern Maine, but still overall, I think probably one of the better days of the week, because we do have a little disturbance that's moving through on Thursday. Now, every time we look at this system, it gets weaker and weaker. So that gives us a less chance for precipitation and less moisture overall. So I would say late on Wednesday night into early Thursday morning, we'll see a couple of snow showers possible in northern Maine, continuing into the later hours on Thursday. But overall, it is still going to be a cloudier day than both today and tomorrow. And then for Friday, once we start to get into early Friday morning, going to see a system mainly to our south that's going to bring some rain showers to southern and areas in western Maine. And that one has been a little bit on the tricky side, so I'll explain. So here's our disturbance for Thursday. It moves through without too much trouble. And then our system for Friday. So that's where we're going to see some areas in southern Maine seeing the rain. And the way this system gets a little bit tricky is dependent on whether some energy phases with this system. So if it doesn't, the moisture will move through a lot quicker and will be a-okay for Saturday. But if it doesn't, that means we're going to have some snow showers early in the morning. So that's kind of what our two scenarios are right now. The European model, the energy doesn't phase, so we get a nice day for Saturday. However, the GFS does not agree and says that it is going to phase, and therefore we're going to see some snow showers early on Saturday morning. Now, I'm more inclined to think of the European model, so this is what we would experience if that were to happen. So our rain comes through on Friday, and then we get a nicer day on Saturday, but we do have some more moisture moving in for Sunday. So overall, not a bad weekend, just a little bit more on the wet side. So seas 2 to 4 feet, we've got some gusty winds off the coast. So in terms of our 7-day forecast, I think definitely tomorrow, nicest day of the week in my opinion, less on the wind, high temperatures getting into the 50s, and then we do have some more unsettled weather coming in for a little bit later in the week, some more precipitation, especially for Friday. Brian and Amanda will nail down the forecast for Saturday over the next few days.
Okay, good news that tomorrow keeps improving though.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good week. All right, Dana, thank you.